Hello, honorable members of the clan. So, guys, let's talk about Mjiyako. The introduction of Mjiyako by Mr. Nisi. This one really frustrates me. Not only does it frustrate me, it makes me angry. You know why it makes me angry? Because Mr. Baloyi knows very well why he did not call Mr. Mjiyako on the stand. This is to continue with the misleading of the court, misleading the public, as well as driving this narrative about the 5 people that he's accused of deleting Senzo Meiwa. Mjiyako is an attorney, apparently, but I was looking at some few things about Mr. Mjiyako. Apparently, he was a police officer at some point, and he worked for the intelligence or something like that. And sometime in the early 2000s, allegedly, he hijacked a goods vehicle somewhere in the borders of South Africa, I think Botswana and South Africa. It got arrested apparently, but as you know, South Africa, corruption and freedom, right? So Mr. Kininda denies ever knowing him. He denies ever seeing him, denies ever all that stuff. And then in my head, I'm like, something is not sitting well. There's no way that you've never come across your own police officer at that level while you are climbing the corporate ladder in the police force. I don't believe that. And because I feel like the people that Mr. Gininda is getting as witnesses, I still believe they are compromised one way or the other. He has things on them. And what are the chances are that he has things on Mjiyako? Hence, Mjiyako popped out from absolutely nowhere on the 23rd of June 2020 at Boksburg Magistrates Court. Who called him? Who called him? Because Ndanzi's cell phone, and together with his sister's cell phone, were confiscated on the day he was arrested on the 16th of June 2020. So he was cut off from the rest of the world. Now, where does Mjiyako comes from? And if Mjiyako is coming from, let's say, a family member, what payments were they made by this family member? Because there's no way that Mjiyako worked on Ndanzi's, number one, appearing at the so-called confession with Cronje, and also appearing in court on behalf of Ndanzi until Ndanzi kicks him out. No. Where are the payments for that? Where's the consultation notes or the brief, whatever it is that it's called? Where are all those? Because there's no way that he would have done it pro bono. There is no way he would have done it pro bono. And then you look as well into Mr. Mjiyako's job at the time. Allegedly, he was a director at the city of Johannesburg. I mean, was he moonlighting as an attorney as well as working for the city of Johannesburg? Is that within the bounds of the law that a person working for the city of Johannesburg, or any city for that matter, this is a whole metro, can also practice as an attorney? Isn't there somewhere going to be some kind of conflict of interest as well as negligence of duty? You can't do both. One is going to suffer because you're focusing more on this one versus the other. So please let me know, because I'm not sure about this one. If you are an attorney, also an employee of the city of Johannesburg, you can have both these jobs. Please, I don't want to make any speculations on this one. I do not know. But now what really drives me up the wall is how this question of Mjiyako is being evaded. And I think they're trying to cleverly evade it by wanting to point fingers at Mr. Ndanzi. That he's the one who called Mjiyako. Otherwise, how would Mjiyako would have come to all these appearances by Ndanzi if it was not Ndanzi who called him? Now, on Ndanzi's cell phone, were they contacts of Mjiyako? And if there were contents of Mjiyako, his cell phone was already in the SAP 13 store. But you know what they are saying with that story? Oh, Ndanzi had his cell phone all this time for 7 months. For 7 months. Besides the 7 months, guess what they were also doing with the cell phone? Mabena as well as Mojano, as they were busy driving him all over the country. Well, not all over the country, Johannesburg and Gauteng. I think sometimes as well KZN. The cell phone was there, and Danza says he could even hear it ring. He could even hear it ring. But they were reading SMSs out of that cell phone that are coming from his girlfriend. Of course, his girlfriend is worried. She doesn't know that his cell phone is being confiscated and it's thrown somewhere in Mr. Mabena's pocket while it rang and also pinged with SMSs. But they want to pin this whole Mjiyako situation into Ntanzi, that he's the one who called Mjiyako. Otherwise, how would he have known that he needed to be in court? How would he have known that he needed to be present when Ntanzi makes a confession at Grenier? And where are the notes that Mjiyako wrote on that day of Ntanzi's so-called confession with Grenier? Because according to Ntanzi, the man came and he sat there and he was not writing notes. He didn't say a word to Ntanzi. And we know that lawyers, they are creatures of instructions. Instead, we are hearing sometime allegedly, Ntanzi says, he's asking me to admit this case, to accept that I'm guilty. And this is where I believe, or allegedly, the 3 million rand comes into place, where allegedly Gininda tried to bribe the Ntanzi family, and he turned it around at the the trial within a trial. And I'm like, where would they have gotten 3 million rand from to even bribe you? Where? Clearly, this guy is a pathological liar. Even though all these things are allegations, but I can see that the man is a liar through his teeth. I hope he also has gaps like I do between his teeth, even though I would not do what he does. I would not do what he does. My conscience is way too sensitive, especially when you see Bongani Ntanzi and Musa Sibiya walk up those staircases hearing those shackles. I think those shackles are the ones that will make me get up and say, okay, all right, no, wait. They didn't do it. They did not do it. That is me. When I was growing up and we were being naughty, I was the snitch because my conscience would not allow me to lie and say, no, we didn't do it. They got beaten because I told the truth, and I never got hiding because I told the truth. So can you imagine now doing something like this to innocent lives, especially the ones that were working, minding their own business, taking care of their families, and hoping for a brighter future. And then comes this evil man, in my opinion, and turns all of that upside down. There is no way. There is no way my conscience is going to allow that. And I'm looking into the arrest of that 58,000 rand that allegedly was stolen by Mr. Gininda in 2009. From what I'm hearing, it's true. Allegedly. And in 2020, and we understand that the cold case unit started when again? So who is this mysterious person that said, I need the most corrupt cop we have in South Africa? And everybody pointed a finger at a certain G. And then that person must have said, does he have any criminal matters pending against him? They found this one. And then it was removed. Mysteriously, apparently, so that he'll be freed from any scrutiny, so that successfully when he takes the stand, those that they are going to sell the story to, they believe it. They tried to sell the story with 5 people. Their mistake was to add Ntanzi and also Umuzi. That was their mistake. Had they only had Inkabi Zodwa as the 5, even myself, I'll be like, But then again, I would have listened to the evidence. Exactly how were they involved? But I would still have some shadow of doubt somewhere in the back of my mind. That they Nkabi. That is why I'm finding it very difficult that Longo Twala, number one, pushed the first Nkabi who's spending 15 years in prison for the taxi violence, and his gun is the one that is being presented to be the one that shot Senzo Meiwa. He pushes that guy, he doesn't, and he walks out. I mean, hey, what if he goes and calls the neighbors and call the police? No, he lets him go. He passes Muzi. From passing Muzi, he passes accused number 4. Accused number 5. Inkalagata does nothing to him. He hops into his red Polo, and then it rolls down the road in Kotwanong Street. Make it make sense. But the one that really, really bothers me is the Mjiyako matter. How did Mjiyako know that Ndanzi needed legal representative? But we also remembered that Ndanzi did not want legal representative from Gininda himself. He said it this week as one of the things that he was lucky about. Do you remember the list of lucks that he was having with both Muzi and Ndanzi? In Carltonville, Ndanzi said, I was working on the 26th, so I don't need a lawyer. So then why a lawyer then out of the blue popped up? Why? This does not make sense, guys. It absolutely, if Ndanzi did not want a lawyer on the 26th or 23rd, he certainly would not have wanted a lawyer on the 17th, as well as on the 18th, as well as on the 19th. Would Rapadu, as Rapadu, as well as Gronia. He would not have wanted a lawyer, but a lawyer was present. This coming out of the liar's mouth that he said he did not want legal representation. Let's make this make sense, honestly speaking. Which takes us all back to the crime scene on the 26th of October 2014. Senzo Mayo was with his friends, his girlfriend's sister, the girlfriend's mother, 2 kids, one of them being his own, and then he had 2 of his friends. Then came Longwe. What happened there? At the arrival of Longwe, what happened? Because that's where the story begins of the deletion of Senzo Meiwa. And then comes a whole neighbor coming to clean for intruders. That doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. The whole Mjiyako stuff, it needs to be investigated. And also, I hope that Mr. Mnisi is going to make an application to have him understand. Because we need to understand, how did he get there? Where are the consultation calls, consultation notes, payments? And also, how is it possible that you were working for the city of Johannesburg around that time when Ndanzi was arrested, and then you have him as a client? I want to understand all those things. All these are allegations, guys. I'm not saying they are facts, because obviously they are in court still to be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. So I still want answers. I'm sorry, this doesn't make sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. But I hope we get to the bottom of it at the end of the day. I hope we do. So it's clear, again, to me, that the people that took the stand compromised one way or the other. And if they refused to take the stand and lie, they would have been in trouble. Case in point, the tracker lady. The tracker lady has 3 different surnames and was a police officer allegedly at some point, then went and worked for a tracking company as a captain. Is it a captain or a sergeant? Comes back as a sergeant. Something ain't right there. And these are the people that he wants to be on the stand, because if you are not going to do as I tell you, you are going to be smeared, or maybe not even smeared. We are going to raise or revive that accusation of what you know you did. That's how it sounds like to me. I don't know. Anyways, guys, please don't leave this video without liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. I appreciate you guys so much for liking the videos. We're getting good there. However, with the ads, we are still down here, guys. Please assist me with watching the ads as well. I highly appreciate you guys for your support. And yesterday, the entire day, my Wi-Fi was not working. I mean, here's the conversation I was having with Rain. Basically, I was furious. Is it fuming? I was fuming. I was fuming. So fuming that I even made a video on Instagram, basically blasting them for the service that they are rendering. Because in 2 days, they are going to be going to my account and debiting the payments for the month of December. Why am I paying for a service that doesn't work half the time? And then, guys, I'm sorry for taking too long. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.